So today I will make a video shorter version without references to the source of information, in hopes that you will save your time by watching this video. And it is about the anti-aging protocol that can make you immortal. Okay, let's go. So naked mole rats and long-living blind mole rats are known for their extraordinary longevity. Naked mole rats live up to 40 years, and blind mole rats live up to 30 years. So, and meanwhile, wild rats and mice typically live less than shorter than 2 years. This extreme longevity is attributed to evolutionary adaptation to living underground and high antioxidant activity in naked mole rats, but actually it is again just opinion of some researchers, so I don't share it. Cancer development in mice and rats significantly reduces their longevity, while naked mole rats are remarkably cancer resistant. So let's go into this subject, resistance to cancer. Vitamin C plays a crucial role in various body functions, including growth, development, and repair of all body tissues, the formation of collagen and elastin, absorption of iron, immune system function, wound healing, and maintaining cartilage, bones, and teeth. Industrially produced ascorbic acid has two mirror image isomers in equal parts, commonly denoted as AL, this is a true vitamin C, and D, erythrobic acid, so it is this which has no biological activity. Linus Pauling indicated that animals typically produce 10 to 12 grams of vitamin C daily, and suggested intake of large doses of ascorbic acid up to 20 grams a day instead of recommended by officially 75-90 milligrams for adults. It is again, we need a lot of vitamin C, which we cannot get from food, and for fruits it is just no way. Mega doses of vitamin C may reduce glycolysis in hyperactive cells and enhance apoptosis, also this is death of senescent and cancer cells, also virus infected cells. Also, vitamin C is considered as antioxidant. At high concentration, it becomes pro-oxidant and increases the level of reactive oxygen species, especially H2 hydrogen peroxide, and which is toxic to the cancerous and senescent cells. So I was talking a lot about this. A dual combination of doxycycline with vitamin C resulted in 90% death of cancer cells in a cell culture. A triple combination of subtherapeutical levels of antibiotics, doxycycline with azithromycin with vitamin C was investigated in laboratory cell cultures as senolytics, which selectively inhibited 90% cancer stem cell propagation. Such a combination can also be used as anti-aging drug, which selectively kills and removes senescent fibroblasts. Okay, so it is again, there was no therapeutical, no clinical research on it, no trials, but it works. I personally tried it. It is again, it's quite good. But mind that senolytics don't kill all senescent cells, mostly in some organs. So that it is, you have to combine different senolytics to exterminate the senescent cells in all organs of your body. Naked mole rats and blind mole rats rely on consumption of the interior flesh of the large tubers that is rich in raw starch, while leaving the epidermis intact. A part of raw starch cannot be digested and is called resistant starch. Bacterial fermentation of resistant starch in cecum and large intestine produces short-chain fatty acids and other metabolites which potentially influence longevity in naked mole rats. This is opinion also was in scientific publication. So also mind that inside the interior flesh of the large tubers has no toxins. All toxins are mostly in epidermis. So this is how they selectively eat tubers to avoid toxins. In aging humans, researchers observe higher reliance on anaerobic glycolysis compared to fat oxidation for energy production, compromised the digestion of protein, degradation of bones and muscles, and body fat accumulation. In contrast to humans, in older NACMO rats, researchers observe higher reliance on lipid oxidation for energy production and higher metabolism. Okay, so you see that without what is anaerobic glycolysis? In conditions of chronic hypoxia, cells to survive go to the anaerobic glycolysis and produce lactic acid, lactate here, to produce energy. This is not the efficient way to produce energy, and also it is producing a lot of lactate, and then lactate acidic environment makes you tired, feeling tired. NACMO rats possess a unique gut microbiome composition that resembles the healthy microbiome of centenarians and Hansa hunter-gatherers. The gut microbiota of NACMO rats contains abundant bacteria producing short-chain fatty acids such as acetic acid, this is acetate, propionic acid, propionate, and butyric acid, butyrate, and other esters. And they are esters of these short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids have remarkably health-improving and anti-cancer properties. So this is actually why NACMO rats and BIC rats live longer, because of these short-chain fatty acids. Fermentation of resistant starch in cecum and large intestine produces more butyrate than other types of dietary fiber. So you know the dietary fiber can be soluble in water and insoluble in water, and then from the insoluble fiber, resistant starch is the type of dietary fiber which is producing mostly butyrate. And butyrate is primarily absorbed and metabolized by colonocytes and the liver. Some butyrate is getting into systemic circulation and delivered to multiple organs, including the brain, as it readily crosses the blood-brain barrier. The diet on NACMO rats has approximately 10 times lower levels of total protein than that of mice, but they can get protein from fecal pellets. This is so-called secotropes. This is a picture of secotropes of rabbits. Rabbits also eat these fecal pellets. So, and in the secotropes, they have 10-24 grams of protein per 100 grams of microorganisms. The levels of glutamate, cholesterol, and bile acids are significantly higher in NACMO rats compared to the mice and rats. They measure it in the intestine, but also in feces. Glutamate is necessary for detoxing the body from ammonia. In aging humans, gut transit time tends to increase, particularly in the colon, possibly due to a more refined diet and reduced physical activity. Longer colonic transit times have been associated with reduced concentration of short-chain fatty acids in feces and increased production of toxins such as phenols, sulfates, ammonia, and 3-methylamine due to decay of the undigested protein in the colon. So this is 3-methylamine N oxide. So this in liver, it tries to detox this 3-methylamine and oxidates it, and it is very toxic substance. So this one, very, very toxic. So butyrate can shorten gut transit time by stimulating intestinal contraction and increasing colonic motility. A diet rich in butyrate-generating resistant starch shortens colon transit time in rats, so it's again, so it's all positive. Such diets can help reinforce intestinal integrity, target age-related dysbiosis, reduce uncontrolled activation of immune cells, prevent immunosenescence, and suppress systemic low-grade inflammation, so-called inflammaging. So you see how concentration of this butyric acid, butyrate depends on gut transit time. The longer gut transit time in hours, the less butyrate is produced. So this is correlation. The more butyrate you produce, the shorter is the colonic transit time, involved transit time. In aging humans, both the mass and number of mitochondria in muscle cells tend to decrease over time compared to younger individuals, leading to a decline in muscle function and muscle strength. This is called sarcopenia. Studies have shown that 50% reduction in oxidative capacity per muscle volume and 30% reduction of mitochondrial volume happens in elderly adults. So you see again, this is again the consequence of chronic hypoxia. So because cells try to survive, they use this glycolysis instead of oxidation of fat. The functions of mitochondria, including their abilities to produce energy by aerobic oxidation, the number of mitochondria in cells, and the control of reactive oxygen species are compromised in skeletal muscles of aging humans. Yeah, you see that what is happening when in conditions of hypoxia, mitochondria produce more more hydrogen peroxide, and this hydrogen peroxide damages the membrane of cells and also damage DNA. And you see how it is in aging humans. Age-related muscular degeneration happened, and it is with people with sarcopenia. In over time, the muscle number of mitochondria is dropping because again muscles use anaerobic glycolysis to produce energy instead of oxidation of fat. Instead of raw starch, we can include mushrooms rich in dietary fiber, which cannot be digested in the small intestine. Edible mushrooms are rich in spermidine, a polyamine that delays aging in humans. Supplementation with spermidine reverses large artery stiffening, restores nitric oxide-mediated endothelium function, and reduces oxidative stress in arteries of old mice. High levels of dietary spermidine are correlated with reduced blood pressure and the lower incidence of cardiovascular disease in humans. Okay, so you see, mushrooms are very healthy for to consume. Oyster mushrooms offer various health benefits, including improved heart health, immune support, and antioxidant protection. They are also a good source of nutrients like B vitamins and vitamin D, and minerals like potassium and magnesium. So this is spermidine, which is again has antioxidant properties, but also very good provides very good health benefits. Mushrooms can support healthy gut microbiome and increase production of short-chain fatty acids that improve weight management, blood sugar control, heart health, and systemic immunity in aging people. Consuming high-dose mushrooms blends can increase butyrate production to 53% of total production of short-chain fatty acids compared to 27% in the control group. And oyster and shiitake mushrooms are rich in glucan prebiotics, which enhance gut bacteria activity and have antibacterial, anti-tumor, and antifungal effects. These benefits may be beneficial. They are good for performance, recovery, and cardiovascular system function in athletes. Okay, so what we know that some bats live longer. For example, microbats eating insects, they're very small. They live up to 40 years. It is much longer compared to mice or rats. And megabats live almost the same, 30 years, but they eat fruits. What is the secret? Is they eat fruits, they rely on sugar instead of fat, instead of lipids to produce energy, but the gut transit time is very short, sometimes even 12 minutes only. The longevity difference between microbats and megabats can be attributed to the consumption of flying insects instead of fruits. Again, microbats for their size and the rate of energy production and with so small body, they live longer than macrobats, and this is I attribute to consumption of lipids from insects. And while microbats use sugars and fruits as the main source of energy. Chitin and flying insects consumed by microbats can be fermented to short-chain fatty acids in the gut better than dietary fiber in fruits. So again, the short transit time is actually they don't produce much of this butyrate or short-chain fatty acids, but at least something. Most microbats and macrobats have short gut transit times due to high-intensity aerobic activity during flights, sometimes about only 12 minutes. And regular aerobic exercise and take of resistant starch and mild laxatives, such as megadoses of ascorbic acid, Epsom salt, and lactose, can help accelerate gut transit in humans, suppress systemic low-grade inflammation, prevent immunosenescence, and reduce the risk of colorectal cancer development. So, yeah, so as I said, it is ascorbic acid, megadoses, Epsom salt, and resistant starch, the way to go. There are two broad classes of theories of biological aging. One is programmed longevity. It is gene theory, Hayflick limit theory, epigenetic theory, autoimmune theory, and endocrine theory. And the second is the damage theory. So it is wear and tear theory, membrane theory, mitochondrial decline theory, rate of living theory, cross-linking theory, free radical theory, gene mutation theory, inflammation theory, and waste accumulation theory. Okay, but again, they are mostly not correct. Many expensive pharmacological and genetic anti-aging interventions, such as stem cell therapy, genetic reprogramming with Yamanaka factors, and transfusion, young blood, plasma, and exosomes, this is extracellular vehicles, may not only fail to achieve a healthy and prolonged life, but instead elevate the risk of cancer development and potentially reduce lifespan. Okay, so be careful. People pay a lot of money for these treatments, but again, for a short while they have some better impact, but again, it is not worth it. It is actually, you will accelerate your aging with these procedures. The widely advertised potential of human growth hormone as anti-aging agent attracted much attention, and studies investigating supplementation or injections of human growth hormone in elderly populations have demonstrated that it can enhance muscle mass and increase skin thickness in individuals aged from 61 to 81. However, results have been disappointing with only a few documented benefits and a lot of troublesome side effects. I tried injections of growth hormone, and I only measured accelerated aging, so I gave up. It is expensive and absolutely useless for lifespan extension. Meanwhile, there is a substantial evidence that challenges the correctness of the gene theory and epigenetic theory of aging. For instance, partial genetic reprogramming with the Yamanaka factors demonstrated only 12% increase in the median lifespan of wild-type mice. Doxycycline used in the partial reprogramming can promote cardiac regeneration and substantially extend longevity. So they attributed it to genetic modification. 12% is very little. increase, but again, instead, if you use not Yamanaka factor, but only doxycycline, and especially in combination with losartan, so you see that this slide, how the doxycycline increased. This is the short-living mice percent of survival. So they live maximum longevity is below 20 weeks for these mice, but doxycycline make it 30, and losartan makes it also 30. But if it is they combined, it is actually so long that again you can measure only at level of even 50%. You cannot maybe at level 80%. You can see that it is increased maybe 5 times. Yeah, so it is again much better. Losartan, the combination of doxycycline and losartan works much better than the Yamanaka factors, which are expensive and again dangerous. Produced by friendly bacteria in the colon from resistant starch and edible mushrooms, butyrate has anti-cancer and health-promoting qualities. Butyrate is also involved in energy homeostasis, glucose and lipid metabolism, lowering oxidative stress and inflammation, neural signaling, and epidemic modulation. It suppresses the transfer of toxins from gut lumen, and also it improves health of intestinal barrier. Butyrate has shown potential to improve brain health by strengthening the blood-brain barrier. And how to get it? Butter has about 3–4% of butyrate, so you can eat butter. Well, this is what I do in the morning always. Oral butyrate and sodium butyrate in like pills in capsules prevent atherosclerosis and enhance blood vessels integrity. In the elderly, better general health and cognitive performances were related to higher diet consumption of butyrate. Okay, you see that again, butyrate is kind of miracle substance. So if you, it is necessary to eat butter, as it is the best source of butyrate, but also some people buy sodium butyrate. But again, if you consume a lot of sodium butyrate, you have to balance sodium and potassium, so you need potassium consumption. The intestinal mucosal barrier on the epithelium layer in guts is critical for maintaining the layer integrity. Medium-chain fatty acids are naturally found in milk fat, or I mean butter, in coconut oil. Short-chain fatty acids like butyrate and these medium-chain fatty acids improve gut integrity and mucosal immunity, while certain long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids like PUFAs, like oleic acid. Again, oleic acid is promoted as anti-aging substance. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If it is depends on how much you consume, but these PUFAs demonstrate a concentration-dependent effect on immune response. High amounts of this polyunsaturated fatty acids intake have been shown to induce lymphocyte apoptosis. Again, people who consume a lot of olive oil, this again, think twice, okay, think twice. It is again, it is only promoted as anti-aging, but it is actually it is mostly fake. It's actually in reduce longevity. Branched-chain amino acids as well, tryptophan, glutamine, glutamate also improve barrier function in the intestine. Excessive fructose consumption, more than 5 grams per day, so it is if you take like 10 grams of sugar per day, it's already can damage the integrity of the intestinal layer. Okay, so this is how intestinal layer in small intestine, and the colon is in the colon there is a very thick layer of mucus. This is jelly-like substance which protects the epithelium layer. Okay, so again, so let's go. Mucus, a jelly-like substance secreted by goblet cells and other mucosal cells, sits on the top of the intestinal epithelium and also endothelium in blood vessels. In the gut, mucus acts as a lubricant, trapping pathogens and debris and preventing them from reaching underlying endothelium and epithelium cells. Okay, so again, mucus is absolutely important, and consumption of fruits, for example, much recommended, but fruits have cellulose fibers. Cellulose fibers, they damage this mucus layer, they just remove it. Okay, so mind that the recommendation of medical professionals are sometimes very dangerous. The epithelium layers in lymphatic and blood vessels are essential for lifespan extension. They regulate blood flow, release nitric oxide, and control blood pressure. A protective layer of mucus, so-called glycocalyx, is only half micron thick. And mucus in blood and lymph vessels is negatively charged due to sulfur atoms, repelling blood cells and proteins and suppressing blood clot formation. Sulfur-containing amino acids like threonine, serine, glycine, threonine, but also other amino acids like serine, glycine, glutamate, glutamine, and proline contribute to mucus production. Vitamin B6 is crucial for mucus formation. B6 you can consume as supplements, but also it is produced from resistant starch in the large intestine. Here you see that this mucus layer on small capillary, how it looks like electron microscope. In electron microscope, this is schematically presented that it is very thin layer, and it has this glucoproteins, and then mucus layer which protects blood vessels. If you consume a lot of fructose, or if you so to damage this layer very easy, and then you can get infections very easy. For example, it is quite known that many vaccines, even traditional vaccines, damage mucosal layer in the blood vessels, and then you can measure it. Unfortunately, I saw it in myself. I was so stupid to get vaccine, not from COVID, but it is what was traditional vaccine. So I never was thinking it will do so, but unfortunately my systolic blood pressure went up, and I was recovering, but slowly, and it is not to the level I used to be a year ago. Studies show that blood glucose increases the high concentration of blood glucose can decrease the volume of glycocalyx by 50% within 6 hours, leading to erythrocytes or red blood cells adhesion and thrombosis. Patients with type 1 and type 2 diabetes have smaller thickness of the glycocalyx compared to healthy individuals. Both acute and chronic high glucose levels reduce glycocalyx thickness, causing endothelium dysfunction due to increased reactive oxygen species, advanced glycation end products formation, and enzymes activity that destroy hyaluronic acid in glycocalyx. Glycocalyx has this mucus, and hyaluronic acid is one of component of this mucus. Okay, you see that elevated levels of glucose in blood are deadly. Actually, it is over time blood flow is reduced in such activity. So you have to keep your blood you cannot do it free of glucose, but at low level of glucose. So elastin fibers are primarily produced during fetal development and early childhood, but their production decreases after late and adolescence. As individuals age, elastin breaks down and is replaced by stiffer collagen, leading to decreased elasticity and increased stiffness in the arteries. In contrast, neck molarets don't show significant signs of elastin degradation or muscle degradation and muscle and vascular aging. You see, this is kind of miracle. So when people lose ability to produce elastin fibers, neck molarets produce elastin fibers, they produce hyaluronic acid, and all the organs stay elastic, and they are not aging at all. So you see, and why? It is, again, it's kind of miracle, but I attribute it to the consumption of this resistant starch And butyrate probably important for elastin production, not as a component of the elastin, but as a source of energy to produce elastin. Reversing the increased arterial stiffness associated with age can provide promising new approaches to treat systolic hypertension and heart diseases. Age-related arterial stiffness is closely linked to chronic inflammation, also known as inflammaging. Low-dose doxycycline is 20 to 40 milligrams per day. Have been shown to reduce the number of inflammatory and non-inflammatory lesions in skin in persons with moderate facial acne and systemic inflammation in the elderly. So you see that it is well known that doxycycline is used to reduce facial acne, but also it is increase the production of elastin in the body. So here you see that systolic blood pressure in person is dropping over time. It is slowly, but it is after months it dropped to normal. Blood pressure from 180 to 150, 160. So again, you have to use it every day for years probably. And number of elastin fibers increased with doxycycline to normal in the mice that cannot produce or they produce but not enough elastin fibers, genetically modified mice. So doxycycline is kind of sort of miracle substance also, and very cheap. Accumulation of lipofuscin, a product of oxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids and proteins, is considered as hallmark of aging. Lipofuscin accumulates within lysosomes and cell cytoplasm of senescent cells, especially nerve cells, cardiac muscle cells, and skin. Okay, you know, the age spots. Age spots are very typically in old elderly people. And accumulation of oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids and and fat. Oxidized and esters of polyunsaturated fatty acids in arterial wall is a key mechanism in the development of atherosclerosis. I was talking about this. You see, this is how development of atherosclerosis is very much similar to development of age spots. And I would say, okay, it is maybe not very well known, but I don't have age spots, or they disappeared. Since I tried my advanced enzymes, they disappeared. I don't have age spots on my skin. So, and okay, in 2002, Dr. Aubrey de Grey proposed enhancing the lysosomal function of macrophages by introducing microbial enzymes capable of degrading waste products in our bodies to combat aging and age-related diseases. In 2018, I started production of advanced bacterial enzymes that can degrade lipofuscin and atherosclerotic plaques. And regular intake of these enzymes resulted in radical reduction of systemic blood pressure and the removal of age spots, aggregates of this, which are aggregates of lipofuscin in skin. Again, this what it is long ago. I make these measurements. That's from 120 to 80. I changed to 89 to 52, and so after the change, after take these advanced enzymes, and also some people were participating in my small trial, and they changed blood pressure from 180 to something to maybe 120. They changed to 106 to 62, and they were telling me, "Oh, you want to kill us?" I never in my life I had so low blood pressure, but I said, "Look at my Look at my blood pressure. It is even better, because the smaller the difference between systolic and diastolic blood pressure, and here it is 37. It is a very good result. And then here it is 44. It is not young, but for the age of the person, it was quite normal. And so it improved his health a lot. So this is how I made these enzymes in capsules. And it was proposed a long time ago, already the gray, but no progress actually there was. I was the only person who produced this. No, not the only person, but again, some people produce this. I made it more efficient, and so I believe that it is very good advanced achievement. But I didn't find any support to make clinical trials or to maybe to sell it, because again the situation was such that because of the COVID and because of war in Ukraine, I was not able to supply these enzymes to Europe, to Western Europe, because most of my clients were in Germany and Austria and the European Union. So, and now it is impossible to send any substances, especially biological substances, to there. So it's again, life is changing, not to better. No, not too bad, I would say. But okay, at least for me it worked. And as I said, I have no H spots. So the studies suggest that all the adults require higher reliance on lipid oxidation for energy production. So again, you have to stay in ketosis. In old age, there is no other alternative. You have to stay in ketosis. You can consume some amount of carbohydrates, like if you consume raw starch, then some amount of carbohydrates you get. But no sugar, no fructose, okay? No fructose, and again, no fruits, no vegetables. Don't do it. Stay in ketosis. Dietary sources of butyrate, that's middle chain fatty acids like butter, and glutamate. Glutamate is available as monosodium glutamate, are important for the diet for elderly. Glutamate, for me, it makes miracles. Again, it is official recommendations not to consume more than 5 grams per day. I consume 20 grams per day. Feel great. Feel great. It helps me so much to improve my health, especially to improve endurance during physical exercise, and I sleep much better. So it's again, I just wondering why people. Okay, what works for me maybe will not work for you. So I cannot tell you that you have to increase consumption of monosodium glutamate to 20 grams, but okay, whatever. Decide for yourself. Short-living mice have mitochondrial membranes with 10 times more polyunsaturated fatty acids than naked rats, suggesting the need to avoid polyunsaturated fatty consumption with food. So forget about seed oils. They are absolutely toxic. Even olive oil and avocado, you should avoid it. Avoid all the plant-based, resistant starches, plant-based food, but all toxins are removed from this, okay? So bacterial degradation of undigested protein in the colon damages the epithelium layer, leading to toxins, pathogens, and allergens entering the bloodstream. Yeah, this is why people, even people following ketogenic and carnivore diet, strict carnivore diet, consuming only fatty meat, they don't live long. They live like Maasai people live only 60 years in average. So why they live so long? Because again, and also the carnivore animals, they don't live long because these toxins accumulate and they kill them. So you have to do something, and the only way it is to shorten the gut transit time. So use doxycycline. Doxycycline is killing pathogens, but not so selectively kill friendly bacteria. So doxycycline, again, microdoses, minocycline or doxycycline is the must. 20 grams per day. People use it for years, and it works. It works okay. It's, again, this is not my recommendations. This is the results of experiments. Regular use of mild laxatives and long aerobic exercise can shorten gut transit times and improve health. In older age, sources of insoluble dietary fiber such as raw potato starch, raw cassava starch, and edible mushrooms have to be included in the diet. Yes, you have to decide again if you consume too much too much raw starch, like more than 200 grams a day. This also, it's too much. Again, this is already, I discovered that my weight is growing, I accumulate fat on the skin, so I reduced consumption to maybe to 100 grams per day. But also I tried to introduce mushrooms. Mushrooms, I was growing mushrooms in my life here in Thailand, and it was so delicious mushrooms. When I grow them myself, I cannot compare quality with what I can get from market. At the market, it is not the same. It is not because I was growing, but because I was doing it in smart way. I was doing it on the special substrate, and I was doing smart way, and the quality was absolutely perfect. So also consumption of whey protein and amino acids has to be increased, because if you cannot digest protein, especially from meat, what to do? Not only shorten transit time, so to make cleaning of your guts, but also you have to increase consumption of whey protein and amino acids, maybe above 100 gram, above 2 grams per kilo of body weight. This is what you have to do. More than 2 grams of amino acids and whey protein per day. Yeah, then your muscles will grow. It is interesting again. In old age, it is very difficult to grow muscles. But if you consume enough of amino acids and whey protein is here. It is not very expensive. If I buy whey protein not for athletes, with some additives like chocolate and I don't know whatever, it is 3 times more expensive than whey protein pure. Pure whey protein I buy $25 American per kilo. It is affordable. If I take even 100 grams of whey protein per day, it is only $3 American per day. It's not much. It's not much. I can afford it. But okay, again, you can combine it with amino acids. Amino acids is much cheaper. Much cheaper. It is $3 American per kilo like this. So this is what you have to stay focused on: whey protein and eggs. Eggs are very good source of easily digestible proteins and healthy fat acids. So use it. Okay, you can buy it, use it. I normally try to eat 5-6 eggs a day, but big size, and also quality of eggs is very important. If you buy chicken eggs, you check. You have to find free range chicken. They are much more healthy. Toxin accumulation in the human body contributes to chronic hypoxia, inflammation. Low dose intakes of doxycycline and minoxidil, along with antihypertensive drugs like losartan, dill-seed extract, senolytics, intermittent fasting, nicotinic acid with sauna sessions, and red light therapy can remove toxins from adipose tissue. This is, I was talking about this a lot. Glutamate can improve blood circulation, angiogenesis, and hair growth. I use it, and again, it makes miracles to me. The development of microbial enzymes to break down advanced glycation end products is critical for health improvement, lifespan extension. I tried to get support to develop it, and because again, my life changed, and I lost this opportunity and the facilities to produce these enzymes. Also, I was thinking to produce a few kilos per day of these enzymes and to sell it, but again, all the changes in related to COVID crashed my business, so I cannot sell it. So, but okay, let's see how it will go. But what the main conclusion? Following nature can extend human lifespan without expensive supplements and procedures. Nature is not using supplements, is not using genetic modification. Forget about genes. Genes are not working such way like if you will use genetic modification of humans. The probability to improve your genetics is very low. Mostly you will shorten your lifespan. This is demonstrated with RNA vaccines. They are not vaccines actually, they are tools of genetic modification of humans to live shorter life. This is how they work. They change your genes in living cells, they change, and then these genetically modified cells inside your body, they produce this spike protein for years, years and years. And what for? And this spike protein is very toxic. So, what else I have to remind you? So, you know, I respect a lot to this person, Linus Pauling. And he died 93. Why? Again, you have to, I will explain it in a longer video. He was following vegetarian diet and consumed little protein because of the recommendation of the doctors, and he lived only 93 years. I'm going to live 1,000 years. If there will be no accident, I believe that people can live 1,000 years, no problem. And another is Dr. Andrew Saul. He died, I believe, after vaccination, year 69. He was very, very good person. He promoted large doses of vitamin C and vitamin B3, nicotinic acid, for life extension and improvement of health. He has some few books. You can check internet for books, read books. He's an amazing person. But unfortunately, again, he didn't get to the level I have now. So he was not following a carnivore diet. He was not working to much to reduce toxins and to. Yet again, his problem was again that he was thinking if he consumes mega doses of vitamin C and nicotinic acid, he is absolutely can stay this vaccination. The result, you see, he died at the age of 69. I'm 68, and I don't want to die in his age. So I try to do a smart way, everything it's smart way. So thank you for taking time to watch the video. Please mind that I am a doctor in physics and mathematics. I work from year 2018, I worked in biology, and I invested a lot of time in biology, and mostly for myself, because what information I do, these people mostly don't appreciate it. Why? Because again, people buy products, buy treatments and operations, and they pay money for this, but they don't pay money for information. Even I know that how much for years hard work I invested in, and so, but people consider that information is free, they can go to internet with artificial intelligence, they can get any information. It is not so, again. And this tendency is already 100 years old, at least. 100 years ago, already people stopped appreciate inventors. So I have myself quite a number of inventions, and to sell these inventions, despite they demonstrated in industrial experiment, they demonstrated a lot of improvement and the opportunity to make more money and to save money. I tried to implement it, but people say, okay, we can use it, but for free. I said, but I worked for years for this, and why you don't want you to pay me? Because again, due to patent law regulations, I can have 5 or 10% from your additional profit if you use my inventions. But the results was, no, we don't like you to be a multimillionaire. Why? You will get 20 times more money. No, because you are somebody. Why we should pay for information? Okay, then you do it without me. This is what such experiments I did. I mean, like people said, we will not pay you. Okay, then do it yourself. They spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and got nothing, zero. So, and with this, eventually I decided to go to this research for lifespan extension. At least I have personal benefits to stay healthy and to live long enough before all the rules will be changed. And I believe that we are in time of then global depopulation. In maybe 50 years or 100 years, population on this planet drop maybe 10 times. I want to live longer. I want to see it. Not because I enjoy it. I see that it is very hard time ahead. But I like to see how it will develop. I rely on this artificial intelligence a lot in my research. It is not that artificial intelligence tell you what to do. No. You have to check. It is, again, artificial intelligence. They copy from internet all the data and give you some summary, maybe with references to the source of information. But if you don't have knowledge in science, if you don't know how to work in science, it will be only confusing for you. So again, if you check what is, ask artificial intelligence what is a healthy diet or how to live longer, you will get medical recommendations to reduce consumption of saturated fat and to reduce consumption of protein and to make fasting. Fasting is okay. And to go to regular aerobic exercises, which is also okay, but again, not everything is working, not everything. And they, again, I tell you that butyrate is, so the information what I give you, it is the result of long time research. I made more than 70 referred in my longer presentation, more than 70 sources of information. So trust me, I was reading not all these publications, but checking at least abstract and the results and the thinking, and it is more than 70. So I didn't make references to all sources of information which I used. But okay, you see that at least people, some people who follow me can live longer and be more healthy. And I personally believe that humans can live 1,000 years and be healthy. And again, at least recent what I introduced to my lifestyle recently, it is making miracles. I feel much better. I sleep much better. Muscles grow. Okay, I just need time to rejuvenate my body. Hair grow also. So much better. Okay, here. Okay, let's see. But at least I feel much better, much younger. I don't feel that like I'm 69 or 68 or 69. I feel that like I am maybe 40, 45. Okay.